immaculate. I was really surprised when I saw the end, how packed the stadium was and how
better. Oh, he's gone through him. And Nathan Sauter, who's bowled a quite brilliant spell here, has taken the next wicket. Will come up to commentary.
That's another one. And they just continue to fall. Arjun, who just walked out to the middle after glorious drive, has completely played around it through the gate, and he's been cleaned up.
Well, that's Nathan Sauter at his best. Slides the ball on, not a big leg spinner, beating the bat on the inside, ricocheting off the pad. Arjun Bitalu bowled Nathan Sauter for 4. It's 84 for 5, half the side gone.
Halfway through the side, 84 runs on the board, running out of overs here as Zishan Maksud walks out to the middle. Plenty of runs off that bat. A decent strike rate as well. Shikar Davan, who's been at the other end, has just watched the wickets fall. Order 1 for 9.
Oh, that's nice.
Starts with a flighted delivery. It's a single, and we're going to go back down to Andrew.
Experience to kind of anchor the innings, and he's doing it for us now.
What's he been like around the group? I know he's spoken quite vocally about how as Shikar goes into the leg side, and he's going to go all the way for 6. I'm going to thank you for calling that one there, Chadwick Walton.
So it's really good to be playing amongst these young guys and to see what they have to offer.
Of the local players, who's kind of stood out for you? I know you'll probably say Gulshan Jha, but Arjun Gartry, he played crowds across the first 4 days of this inaugural MPL, have been quite sensational.
I mean, the crowd here has been immaculate. I was really surprised when I saw the end, how packed the stadium was and how engaged the fans are in the game.
Upstairs, what about these fans behind us? How brilliant are they?
They have been immaculate throughout this tournament so far. I love them. They have been entertaining, electrifying. It's brilliant to have them. I would take them all around the world with me.
Well, I could barely hear your answer. I think that's because another boundary's come back up to you guys there in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Wonderful chat, David Chadwick. Looked good with the bat earlier in the day, but what a shot here from Davan. He's teeing off at just the right time into the back end of the 5 overs here. Rashid Riaz, evasive action. Time has come to shift gears, and a very good morning to SG Ackerman as well.
Good morning, Mikhail, and good morning to all our viewers who have tuned in to this broadcast. He's had to time his acceleration, Shikar Dawan, because his teammates have just fallen around him, haven't they? That he's shown the experience where he's just knocked it around, and now you almost feel it's time to go.
Yeah, he's just absorbed the pressure really well, held one end. Batters have gotten off to starts. Walton 21, Barber 13 of 18. Another very uncharacteristic innings. Gulshan 12 of 19.
I think the surface has been very dry. Certainly seen some turn on offer for both Gerard Erasmus with his off spinners and the leg spin of Nathan Sauter. End of the 16th, 98 for 5.
Has just about walked in. All eyes really on Sompa. Looked very good in the last game of his. Got the impetus towards the back end. Nandan and Bipin, 15-year-old Bipin, getting a game in this match. Yeah, but not much of batting left. Sompal to come. Breathtaking view. It's a nature lover's delight.
You were talking about the surface, and I think there was an expectation that because of the early morning start and the dew on the outfield, that maybe the ball would just skip on, come on nicely. but it hasn't been the case. It's held in the pitch again. It's been slightly on the slowish side, and batters have struggled to come to terms with it. But still an opportunity to post something here for the Yaks, because Shikar Dawan is still there.
Good captaincy as well by Karan KCHD. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's been a number of left-handers that have walked in of late. You know, Zishan's at the wicket with Shikar Dawan at the moment. Gulshan Jar was in before, and so there are some left-arm orthodox bowlers, but he's held them back because he's understood that those are probably the type of bowlers that Shikar Dawan will go after, and so he's been happy to bowl Gerard Erasmus with his off-spinners going away from the left-hander, a leg spinner who's got not only the traditional leg spinner but the googly. Now he goes back to the seam of Rashid, so reluctant to bowl the left-arm spinners. It might change if the man in picture gets out, but if he doesn't,
well, Karan Casey also slipped in 3 overs of Beam Sharkey of off-spin. 100 comes up in the 17th over. A laborious innings here by Davan, but he's holding fort. Alam does have 3 overs at his disposal, but he's been held back. Kandel has 3 overs at his disposal, so that's as many as 6 overs being kept out of the equation, only to keep sure that they don't be bowling to the left-handed batters. Karan Casey has 2. We'll see him in action. Rashid has 1 after this. Looking good as captain. Gets some bat on it. Fast hands. And they'll run away for a boundary. Yes, they have to shift gears. Time has come.
again you wonder about choice of delivery. And I only say that because fine leg is up inside the 30-yard circle. And so Zishan just has to get a glove on it, never mind a bat. And it just runs away for 4. With this type of field, you would expect the ball to be pitched a little bit further up, maybe pace taken off, because there's a long on and there's a long off.
Nicely driven. Yeah, they've kept things very tight. 10 fours, 2 sixes. At the moment, Yaks batting at a run rate of 6.30. This is how Arjun got out. Lovely delivery by Sauter. This looks so good. Getting a game today, he's made it count. 1 for 16 in his 3. That's in the air and out of here as well. Shikar Davan has been quiet for a while, but time has come to dish out the Siddharth Bank maximum, and he does it in emphatic style.
At his very best. It's just the length that he liked. Even though it's going across him, it's outside off stump, it's the length. Oh, yes. They've come to watch him bat.
He's shown great patience and resilience in the middle. Wickets falling at the other end. He stood up and he stood out today. Nicely worked away. He'll also keep the strike for the next over. 14 runs coming off over number 17, 1-1-2 for 5. Both these teams didn't get off to the greatest of starts in the opening encounters. One of them will certainly have their first points later in the day. Sitting alongside H.T. Ackerman, and you can quite safely say that the vibe and the atmosphere from the start has been incredible, HD.
Extremely well supported in its first year in the Nepal Premier League. Shikar Dawan, poised, unbeaten on 41. He was at less than a run a ball for most of his innings, but now we've seen the great man put the foot down. A couple of big ones, a couple of 4s, and the last over that was bowled is the biggest of the innings.
Oh yes, he's been the wind beneath the wings for the Karnali Yaks in this innings. 41 of 38, unbeaten. And he'll be up against Karan Casey. Bowls so well, 1 for 7 in his 2 overs. Been a sporting wicket. HT, you'd want to believe this square. Pacers getting wickets. We saw yesterday spinners have been in the mix. Did see Irie go after the bowling as well, get a 50 at a strike rate of 237.
There's runs out there. There's no doubt that there's runs out there, but you need to showcase your skills. You can't just go stand and deliver, because there is something in it for the bowlers, particularly the slower bowlers and the seamers who are happy to try and bowl some cutters.
Yeah, you'll expect the seamers to use a lot of mind in these final death overs. The change-ups coming in very handy on this surface particularly. We know about the timing as well.
All the surfaces have looked really good. There's a lot of grass that's been left in the bowling creases, and a lot of the fast bowlers don't enjoy that because they can sometimes slip upon landing, but it looks pretty, and the curator, they love a nice looking surface.
HT, are you trying to say looks are deceiving sometimes?
Good T20 pitches.
Booze it!
They might get a little bit slower as the tournament progresses, but you can understand that because you've got basically 7 pitches that are being used across the square, and the more that they get played on, the tougher it is for the curator to keep moisture in the surface, and so generally they get drier. He will be aided by the weather though, because it's not hot. It's very cool in the mornings, very cool in the evenings, beautiful during the days. But if it was very, very steamy here, if it was hot, the curator would really have his work cut out.
So far they've done a brilliant job of the square. Moves in the crease, finds up in the circle as well, and that will go high, wide and handsome from the bat of Shikar Davan. He has to bring out those 6s, and the time has come.
Commonly referred to as helping it on its way. He uses the pace on offer and he just says up and over, and I will have a Siddhartha Bank 6.
Crossing ropes, creating hopes there. Beaten on 47. Smartly done, brings up his half-century in emphatic style. He's led from the front. He's led this innings. He raises his bat to the cheer of thousands of fans gathered here to see Gabbar in action. What an innings.
Expectation carries pressure. Great players deal with pressure. We've seen some good shots over the course of this tournament, but what a way to bring up your half-century.
This has turned out to be a good over. 13 runs coming off it. Importantly, Davan will keep strike for over number 19 into the final 2. It's 1-2-5. The bat till the end if you need to get to a substantial score. Shikar Davan missed out in the last game getting 14, but today he's made it count. The superstar has been in sublime form.
The stroke to bring up the 50. You have to be some serious player to do the shapes to go down the leg side and then realizes, hang on, I need to adjust. I mean, it is like a wand in his hand. 50 for Shikar Davan.
Look at the adulation. Look at the acknowledgement from the crowd as well. And that's a Shikar Davan fan as well. Zishan Maksud to enjoy that shot of his. With surgical precision, he got that boundary. No stopping him from here on. That's high, and that's out of here. What a shot. Shikar Davan in the house at the TU Stadium, and the fans are enjoying every bit of it.
Nathan South is going to have to get this ball away from Shikar Dawan, force him to hit the ball on the offside, somehow found a way to get him off strike, because if you bowl it in that area as a leg spinner into that hitting zone, he will punish you, and he will punish you all day.
Look at that for a strike. The partnership now worth 47 runs. The run rate gets a facelift. It all changes in a matter of overs. That's what Gabbar brings to the table. Wow, this is what the fans came for. And they've been treated to some delightful hits. Pressure on the bowler, concedes the 6 of the very first delivery. Where is this one going? That's over, long gone. That's 6 number 2. Shikar Davan. You superstar, you beauty.
Too full. The leg spinner's got his length all wrong here. 2 in a row. He's bowled it up to Dawan, and Dawan has been able to just stand and swing through the line. That is his bread and butter.
This one down to long gone. Kept it wide of his arc. Smart bowling, but the 50 partnership as well. Courtesy that 6. It's worth 54 of 24, and all of it. Zishan has got only 10. Shows the impact he's made in the middle here.
Much better from Salter.
Drags it from outside off. Dhawan's happy with a single, wants to keep strike. Good fielding in the deep as well by Erasmus. You've got to keep things tight.
I'm not sure they wanted to really, but what a bit of fielding in the deep from Gerard Erasmus. Picked it up one hand at full sprint, got it in. But now Salter under pressure again. Dawan on strike, and he's in the mood.
Every run is being cheered from the bat of Shikar Dhawan. This is an innings of very high pedigree and caliber.
The Yaks have found themselves on 140 with 7 deliveries remaining. For one moment, they didn't look as though they were going to get to 115, 120.
Yeah, they did get 141 in the last game as well. That's when Sompal Kamya and Arjun Garthi got the runs. Another very successful, productive over for the Yaks. 16 runs coming off it. We're into the final over. 141 for this partnership. He's got 44 in 18. Zishan has been a spectator at the other end, just holding one side. 12 in 9. You talk about making an impact on top and in the death. Well, that man certainly has brought in all that experience, HD.
Yeah, the only problem for the Yaks is that there's 120 balls that's on offer in an innings, and Shikar Dawan has only faced 47. He should face at least half of those, at least half of them.
That's a very valid observation as well, HD. The more the strike Dhawan gets, the more the runs Yaks may be getting as well, particularly when he's in this kind of form and mood. For the moment though, it's Zishan Maqsood on strike, and it's going to be Rashid Khan with a final over. None for 20, 141 for 5. How many can they accumulate in these final 6 deliveries? Make no mistake, Maqsood on his day is equally dangerous. Picks that from outside off. Nicely done. Over to Davan.
Yeah, Rashid did well there. He's trying to keep it out of that hitting zone. He doesn't want to bowl it at the stumps. He went very... Strike rate now 140, and let's bear in mind that it was under 100 at various times throughout this innings. He's in full flow now. Can't afford to bowl at the stumps.
Yeah, smartly done. That's exactly what HD was talking. You can't bowl anywhere in the arc in that zone to Shikar Dhawan at this stage.
Shikar Dhawan knows exactly where Rashid is going to be trying to bowl. Hence the reason why he walks across. He gets across on the off stump. The reason why it's not called wide is because the wide line shifts if the batter moves across his crease. Now what happens though? What does Rashid think? Because he's seen Shikar Dhawan move